Welcome to another edition of Paranormal Vines. Today we're actually going to be bottling our Paranormal Pomegranate. We have the bottles already cleaned. The biggest process in all of this is actually cleaning and sterilizing everything, because you get a little bit of bacteria in there and you're going to make vinegar. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is actually get a stabilizing solution together. So I have the bowl here. We're going to add a little of the potassium sorbate to it. First, we actually need a little bit of the wine to mix into it, and then we'll add it to the wine later after we siphon it off. So let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, smells good. Smells good. Okay. Use it's just a turkey baster, really. A little bit of that in the bowl. Okay, now this is where gravity actually becomes our friend. Down here is where I have the bowl from the KitchenAid. And what I'm going to do is siphon out of here down into the bowl. I know you can't see that now, but here's our nice siphon, which I'm going to put down into the bowl. And usually I have like Ariel or one of the other kids hold that for me, but right now she's working the camera. And we start the siphon process. And there it goes. And this will take a little while. We're going to mix our stabilizing solution in with this giant spoon. This spoon actually goes with my 6-gallon kit, part of which you're going to see here in just a little bit. I know it's huge, right? A lot bigger than what we need, but it'll work. We'll go ahead and pour in our solution and stir. And that will finally finish off the fermenting process, which this has been fermenting for quite a while. This is actually a 2009 wine. Here we are at Fort Chaffee in Arkansas. We've got the abandoned part of the fort here, the old historic section, which is eventually going to be torn down. But while I was out here, I picked up a local wine made by Post Family Vineyards, and this is a red muscadine. So I may try this one instead of saving this collector's item like some of the others, since this isn't actually grown on Fort Chaffee. It's in the area, but it's a semi-sweet, 12% alcohol. We might have a little fun with this sometime. Now here is the large bucket from the kit. The reason why I'm using this, it's 6 gallons. We only have a gallon of wine, but the spigot makes it really easy for bottling. You could, siphon it out of, your container, which right now is our KitchenAid, but really it makes it a lot more complicated doing that. Having the spigot makes it real easy. So we'll put it in this massive bucket, and we'll start bottling here. Here we are with our first bottle of our pomegranate wine, and I always mark my first bottles when I label them as first bottle, and I save those off to the side. And away we go. Also, I'm using the green bottles here because with the green helps to retain the color of the wine, as well as a few other things. The small bottles I only have in the clear, but that'll be okay because we'll probably use those sooner than we use the green ones. And you have to be really careful about putting too much into here. You'll have, and we'll get to this when we do the corks, I just take it up to right at the bottom of the neck. When you put the cork in, you'll have that air displacement in there, and if you do it too high on the neck, you won't get your cork all the way in. You can see as this one starts filling that our pomegranate wine has a bit of a pinkish color to it. Okay, now we're finally to the fun part where we're bottling it and then we can label it and store it. This is our corker. Nice little convenient gadget. You need a sturdy surface. This table isn't the greatest. Usually I use a counter, but this is a better setup for the demonstration. I did kind of already cheat a little bit and did one of the small bottles just to make sure that my corker was aligned properly. We'll go ahead and we will go ahead and bottle one of the larger 750 milliliter bottles. And really, this just goes on straight like that. And let me move these to the side so I don't injure anything. And it just, boom, that's it. Like I said, we keep the corks wet so it slides in there a little easier. You try to put a dry cork in there, it'll be tough. And this is pretty flush, so that's a good corking job. Now when you store these, what you're going to want to do is tilt them or lay them on their edge so that the wine gets down to the cork, wettens the cork, keeps it from drying out. One of the reasons why a seal is used over the cork at the bottles that you buy at the store is that it keeps the cork from drying out, because they'll store the bottles like that on the shelves. So it depends on what you're going to do at home. If it's a seal, you're okay. If you're not going to use a seal, then lay it so that the cork stays wet. We'll do one of the smaller ones, which does take a smaller cork. My smaller corks are the synthetic ones. I prefer the natural cork, but at the time, synthetic is all they had in the smaller corks at the store. And there we go. I appreciate you joining me today for Paranormal Vines. Next time we are actually going to start a new wine. I still have the poll up on the website for either the Oklahoma Watermelon or the Ohio Concord. I will let you decide which we're going to do next. Until next time.